how to maximize your preseason. How do we have successful teams for the first 4 rounds? And is there any correlation with preseason training? And that particular research was looking into using session RPE, which is just basically getting the athletes all to rate their perceived exertion out of 10, 10 being maximal, 0 being no work at all from an exertion point of view, times the duration, and then also taking into account GPS loads. So things like high speed running, which is running at above 19.8 Ks per hour typically, and sprint distance, which is above 25.5 Ks per hour. So looking at the running volumes, and that seemed to have a correlation with ranking. So those are with high session RPEs, so the squat average compared to the norm, as well as if those teams had a high chronic load. So 4 weeks or longer, their rolling average was high relative to other clubs for high speed running and sprint distance. They seem to have a competitive advantage in the first 4 rounds, winning more games than not. What was your high speed over preseason on a given week? What was your weekly average? What was your 4-week average? And that should just be rolling all the way through preseason. And you want to look to build that. So if like November, let's say you're averaging 2,000 meters of high speed running and you picked that up at 2,500 December, maybe you had a bit of a deload over Christmas and you're coming into January now, where you're looking to pick that up to 3,000. So you might be doing 4 sessions a week. And one of them might be a bit more of a recovery session. So, and then the same for sprint distance, maybe it's achieving your last year, your average in January, 200 meters a week. How can you get to 250? And obviously you don't want yardage garbage. So you don't want more doesn't necessarily mean better. Perhaps you started the season really well last year and you hit your standards and and you're really fit, available, and you're good to go. Make sure you're training hard and not only with your contest stuff and fatigue, but also intensity, high speed running and sprint distance. So think of those 3 areas. Now, if we're going to be training hard, we need to be recovering even harder. So recovering harder, what does that mean? Well, quality sleep and quantity sleep. So sleep, what can you do to improve your sleep hygiene? Is it making your room darker? Is it reducing your blue light, habits around reducing your mobile phone and TV screen time before bed? From a fueling point of view, what sort of carbohydrates are you getting? Is it just random, or are you fueling more on your training days and being a little bit stricter and perhaps more deliberate around what you're actually eating on your recovery days, where you're not expending as much? How much protein are you getting? Are you trying to put on muscle? Are you trying to maintain? Thinking about these things and fueling accordingly. And then some form of increasing blood circulation, whether that be massage, pull, like walkthroughs, drilling, mobility, getting on a bike, going for a long walk, whatever it is, just improving the body's already amazing ability to recover. So yeah, some form of active recovery. When we're in preseason, if for those trying to put on muscle mass, there is some strong research, and it seems to make sense as well from a practical experience that doing ice baths during a high pressure block can hinder your adaptation process. So it's great in season when we're not looking to put on size, but in the off season, preseason, perhaps ice bath's not the best thing, because we want to maximize your muscle mass growth and really get the most out of that adaptation phase after you've done the weight session. So if you've just done a strength session, perhaps over the next 48 hours, it's not the best time if you're looking to put on size to hit an ice bath. So look at other ways to recover, things that promote blood flow. Training and completing above 80% of preseason training. So all that simply means, let's say you're over preseason, your club completes 1,000 minutes of training. That means that you participate in 800 minutes plus of that training. And we know for successful clubs, the average player completes above 80%. That gives you confidence that your squad is fit and ready to go. They've got a good understanding of how to apply the game plan that the coaches are trying to educate and install into the group. You need to be able to have time together. You need to put work together as a group to do that. So that's a good general goal. To add to the training hard aspect is availability. You can't get better if you're not putting in the work and training with your team. And that's probably obvious, but it's a good little marker that you can give yourself on making sure that you're available for training sessions. You're not missing training sessions. And if you are, reach out to your strength and conditioning team or your coaches about what you can do to still get in that training session, because consistency is absolutely key.